Okay, I'm Tiffany. I'm 32 years old, and I'm an artist.
Incredible. What type of art do you do?
I do visual art, so
Okay.
painting, digital art. I work with Adobe Premiere, Illustrator, Photoshop, the works.
How long have you been doing art for?
I started doing art in 2016.
Okay.
So not really that long, actually. I work in video production as well, but
Okay.
art is like my main jam that I'm working on right now.
Interesting. What made you decide to make that pivot?
You know what's funny? So I still like do both,
Right.
but it was really because somebody told me that I couldn't. Somebody told me that I wasn't an artist, and I'm like,
Interesting.
I was so determined to prove that person wrong, and then I ended up parlaying a career out of it and like loving it and just
Yeah.
being really good at it. So it really started for me just being defiant.
Yeah, well, what's one of your favorite thing about being an artist? Because it is such a tough vocation in any
Oh,
form.
absolutely.
Especially, I'd imagine visual art where it's so subjective as to whether or not it's
Yeah,
good.
but I think that might be like my favorite part about it.
Really?
There's no right or wrong way to be an artist. You literally can just do whatever you want. I feel like I wake up and I just do stuff. Like there's so much freedom and there's so many different avenues you can take. You meet so many interesting people. I'm obsessed with the fact that I can kind of just do whatever I want. I can
Yeah.
make my career whatever I want it to be.
So then that being said, what made you decide that the next picture on your canvas is going to be Survivor player? What has led you in front of me today?
You know what? I have been a Survivor fan since I was a teenager.
Okay.
And I actually applied to the show like 10 years ago. Didn't even get a call, by the way. Did not even get a call back.
Jeff.
Right? But you know what? I'm grateful because if I would have gotten on a show as a 22-year-old, dewy-eyed, I would have gotten chewed up and spit out. But me, a decade later, I've seen some things, I've been through some things, and I feel like I'm way more ready now than I ever was before.
What do you remember a season or a player that like got you into
That
it?
got me
that
amped up?
started you watching it?
So I don't think there was a particular player or season that started me watching it. I actually started watching it because of one of my best friends. Like I was spending the night at her house one day, and her mom used to watch Survivor, and I'm like, oh, what's this? And they kind of got me into it. I do know the player that I personally admire is Natalie Anderson.
Let's talk about this. Yeah, I want you to
Yeah.
give me one winner and one non-winner. And so winner would be Natalie?
Yeah, Natalie for sure is the winner that I admire the most because I feel like she was just so tactful and patient. And patience is an area that I struggle with in my everyday
Interesting.
life. So I'm hoping that I could kind of, be better with that. I'm an instant gratification girl. So I know that it doesn't always work that way on Survivor, and I'm
Yeah.
hoping to be able to, hone my skills in that department.
The good news is you have 26 days, and now you don't need to wait 39 days to win, right? This is
Exactly.
more immediate gratification.
Exactly. Now, as far as non-winners go, I really liked watching Shan play the game because I feel like there was so much potential there. I think she just got caught up in her emotions just a little bit too much. And while I am, a bit of an emotional person myself, I'm hoping to be able to kind of maybe pick up where she left off because her mind around strategy, beautiful. But she got a little too bogged down with like relationships and the nuances of those things instead of just being more cut and dry about it.
What's your favorite moment in Survivor history? Did it involve any of those players you just talked about or something completely different?
Ironically, no. And my favorite moment in Survivor history is probably Tony's Spy Shack.
Yeah.
Because I was blown away. I'm like, this guy is a total Looney Tune. But at the same time, it's like, dang, you got to have some guts to be able to do some crazy stuff like that.
Yeah.
Because everybody wants to say, oh, yeah, I will be this type of player or that type of player. But to see somebody to actually just come out here and go for the gusto like that blew me away.
So now are you like already scouting out trees and shrubs of like...
Listen, I'm going to keep it real with you. I am probably not going to build a spy shack. That's not my ministry, but I admire Tony for doing that. Listen, there can only be one Tony.
Yeah, that is very true.
Many have tried, few have succeeded. So I'm going to leave the spy shacking to him, and I'm going to figure out a way to carve my own path in this game.
What do you think is one life experience that has prepared you for this? Is it cutting your path, like you said, moving to be an artist, or is it something else?
I definitely believe that me becoming an artist has prepared me for the game because number one, like you said, it's a pretty difficult career to kind of be successful in. And while I'm like mildly successful and probably like in the very beginning stages of my career, I have had some really big wins. Like, you know, I was able to have my artwork displayed in Madison Square Garden.
Wow.
I've worked with like, you know, major brands like Nike and Adidas.
Oh, man.
And this is all just me being self-taught.
Yeah.
Figuring things out on my own, building relationships, and kind of just being able to make others think that what I want is also best for them. So that's a skill that's very useful out here.
Would you say that's your biggest superpower is, you know, being able to convince someone to do something, to literally sell a piece?
Oh, for sure. I would couple that with me just having a really high emotional intelligence.
Oh, okay.
I think that it's very easy for me to connect with people. It's very easy for me to read people. And it's also really interesting and easy for me to kind of see when there's a shift in emotions, caused by me or not. I think that that's really going to help me out here.
What would you say is your biggest, on the other hand, kryptonite?
I'm too nice sometimes.
Okay.
But also on the flip side, I cannot control my facial expressions sometimes. So we're going to work on that. I'm definitely a work in progress. And sometimes I tend to be a little bit of a people pleaser.
Okay.
And out here, that's not going to serve you in any form or fashion. So.
That's tough. I mean, listen, the good news is Survivor Twitter will be eating up your facial reactions. The bad news is people in the moment might not.
They will not. So I'm going to have to really, you know, lock it in, box it in, keep it cute, but hopefully it doesn't get me in too much trouble.
Yeah, you said in your bio that you have no filter.
I don't.
So how tough is that going to be, considering information's currency? Like, are you afraid that you're just so excited about having an advantage that just like something slips?
Oh, see, no. I don't have a filter when it comes to me letting people know how I feel.
Okay.
When I'm a person that's upset, I'm letting everybody know that I'm upset. But when it comes to keeping secrets, I can do that.
Okay.
Like, but I don't think it's going to be an issue with me like letting a couple things slip, because I plan on being a little messy out here anyway. So, you know, if I stir a little something here or there because I accidentally let something slip that somebody told me, I don't think there's any problem with that.
Yeah, but to go back to what you said before, it could be tough, right? If like, let's just talk about last season. Carson and Jam Jam leave Carolyn out of a vote. Like, it's tough to not be her in that situation, to your point of like, I'm mad that you did this thing and I'm not going to hide it.
Yeah. But also, I think you have to find like a balance, right?
Of course.
There's a benefit to letting everybody know that you're mad, but you also have to toe the line. Because if you do too much, then everybody's going to be like, okay, she's a liability. She can't keep her shit together. We got to get rid of her. But I'm hoping I can toe that line between letting everybody know don't play in my face, and also like, okay, I can roll with the punches. I can be a team player here.
What do you think people are going to perceive you as out here?
Well, I don't know what they're going to perceive me as, but what I hope they perceive me as.
There we go. Try to manifest it.
I hope they think that I'm just like this really docile, sweet, and easy to beat artist who doesn't really know much about the game, but you know, you can kind of take her along, use her for votes. I don't want to be perceived as somebody who's doing a whole bunch of overthinking and strategizing, because those are the people that they want to get up out of here first.
Yeah, you mentioned something in your bio about how your friends say that you live in a land of sunshine and unicorns or something like that.
Okay, so my best friends, they joke around with me all the time, and they call me like delusional because they're like, Tiffany. Yeah, I know. It sounds nuts. But here's the thing. It's not always a bad thing, right? Because I live in a land of, I think I can do anything. I can accomplish anything. Like, but that's really what my life has been up until this point. When I want to do things, I do them. And 88% of the time, things work out for me. Like, they even joke around and call me God's favorite. But you can't be God's favorite without a little bit of delusion that things are just going to go your way, right?
Yeah, well, let me talk to me about that. Like, how much has luck incorporated into your life? You said that like you love playing games, you love playing the lottery. I mean, welcome to Survivor.
I'm so freaking lucky. Like, I love playing the lottery because most of the time I win. I mean, I haven't won like any major life-changing prizes, but I usually do win.
I was going to say, if you do not let that information slip.
No, I haven't. I wish. But no, like, when I play games, I usually win. I'm very competitive, and I think that's why I don't like to lose, because I'm not used to it.
Yeah.
I'm used to things working out, and a lot of the time, a lot of the times my friends have to tell me, Tiffany, be realistic. You're not thinking in the real world. And I'm like, I don't have to think in the real world. I'm thinking in Tiffany's world. And in Tiffany's world, things go right and they go the way I want them to go.
Amazing. So how is that going to incorporate for you in like the advantage aspect, right? Considering Survivor is all about taking a risk, gambling, putting your vote up. Is this something you're just going to involuntarily do, or are you really trying to say, like, do not take that temptation?
I'm a gambling gal, and I'm not good with resisting temptation, so I'm not even going to sit up here and lie to you and pretend that if I see an advantage, I'm not going to take it. I'm a girl. I'm going to act now and deal with the consequences later.
Yeah. Do you have thoughts about how you would deal with those consequences? Like lie, deny, deny?
Yeah, why not? I'll lie, I'll deny, I'll do whatever I gotta do. I'm a by any means necessary type of girl, and that's the type of game I'm trying to play out here. I don't care who I have to lie to. I don't care what alliances I have to switch. I'm in the guys' alliance. I'm in the girls' alliance. Hell, I'll be in the trees alliance if that's going to get me a step further in the game. Like,
I mean, you'll get the numbers if you're in a trees alliance. I think they got, the numbers are certainly against them.
Exactly. Like, I'm going to do what has to be done no matter what, because at the end of the day, we're only going to get one shot at this. Well, most people only get one shot at this. And I would never forgive myself if I came out here and played a whack-ass, scared-ass game. That's not what I came here for.
Well, let's talk about some of your competition a bit.
Okay.
Is there something you value in an alliance partner? Are you looking for a ride or die or a day one?
Okay, so I would love to have a ride or die. I would love to have a day one. And what I would really love is loyalty. But this is Survivor, so to ask for loyalty is just really stupid. It's only one prize, and we're all fighting for it. So what I would like is, maybe I'll have a little bit of loyalty.
Yeah.
But I would like somebody who can think outside of the box, somebody who's not going to get shaken up when we're in a really crappy situation. Because 9 times out of 10, when things are going in Survivor, they're probably going to shit. So what can we do? I don't want a person that's going to panic. I want a person that's going to sit down and say, all right, what can we do to get ourselves out of this hole? So a creative thinker and somebody who's going to be able to keep their shit together.
So that being said, it's been days. You've been, certainly eyeballing these people that you've been around with. Is there anyone for one reason or another that you are like getting good vibes off of? If you're on the same beach as them, best case scenario.
Yeah, I think so. There's a guy, kind of tall, athletic looking, dark skinned. Just something about him just feels like he's a competitor. Something about him feels like he's not going down without a fight, or like, just from looks. Like, he looks like a freaking action figure. Like,
and you're like, time to play with you.
If I'm going to war, I want him next to me.
Well, what about on the other side of things? Is there anyone that you're picking up not so good vibes from?
So I wouldn't say that there's anybody that I'm picking up not so good vibes from, but there's definitely somebody who's giving me like too nice. Like, you're looking a little too nice for me. Like,
interesting.
So there's a guy. He has like a dark beard, like a dark full beard, and he just feels a little too friendly. Something about it I don't trust. When people are too nice, I'm like, you hiding something.
Yeah, that's that tri-state girl in you, right? You're like,
yeah,
we don't say hi on the streets of New York.
Exactly. In New Jersey and in New York, we mind our business. We don't smile for no reason. You're not just smiling at me for no reason. Something's up.
So we talked about this before, but let's say in the first couple days, a boat pulls up to your camp and someone gets out and says, you got to pick one person to go on a journey. Are you like trying to say me, me, me? Are you trying to get someone else to go?
See, that's the tough part. The gambling girl in me is like,
hell
yeah, I want to go. But the Survivor strategist in me is like, Tiffany, be fucking for real. Like, if you are the first person off this island with no other reason for people to vote you out, you're giving them a reason right then and there. So I don't know. I might have to have a conversation with myself and really, figure that out. I can't give you a yes or no. It's gonna be a game day decision.
Well, you talked about the risking and the gambling stuff. Are you someone that is going to really be in the hunt for advantages regardless?
Yes. Like, so I'm definitely somebody that's cognizant of how I'm perceived. So I don't want to be the girl that's like doing too much and coming in guns ablaze and searching for idols 24 hours a day. But I'm also not just gonna sit around and look at people in their face when nobody here is safe.
Yeah.
So I'm going to try to find a delicate balance between pedal to the metal and like, all right, girl, relax.
I'm so intrigued from your perspective as a visual artist. Do you think that makes you like a shoo-in for puzzles that literally have to complete a picture?
No, you know what? All right. So if I'm like chilling and I like can sit down and relax, I think I'm pretty good with puzzles. I'm great at seeing like, the bigger picture and, fine little details. Mm-hmm. I'm good at recognizing those. But under pressure, I'm a little bit of a wackadoodle. So I'm like, I'm the person that is always, I should have seen that. Like when my anxiety starts to ramp up, it's like I just see colors, lights, and swirls. And I'm definitely not the girl that's volunteering to do the puzzles. Although I'm good at them, that's in a relaxed environment. Like, not when I'm hot and starving and fighting for my life.
Yeah. When it comes to preparation, I mean, was that a part of your process? What have you been doing to try to get ready for this experience?
Oh, for sure. I've definitely been doing a lot more puzzles, but, like, that's something that I enjoy anyway.
Yeah.
But one thing I was definitely very determined to do was get in like, a really good physical condition, because I know this game is really hard on the body. So like I was working out like 5 or 6 times a week, swimming, lifting, running, climbing, like I did a lot to get ready for this.
Yeah, you don't want to be that person, right, that go to tribal council. We got to keep the tribe strong.
And that was like my main point for doing that, because like when it comes down to like the individual challenges, you figure it out as you figure it out. But in the beginning, most of the time, people don't know each other. They don't have a real reason to vote anybody out. So they're looking to get rid of the weakest links. And I refuse to be that weak link. Can't compete in the individual immunity challenges if you don't get there.
Exactly. Talk to me about your typical decision-making process. When you have to make an important decision in your life, are you someone that like walks through a typical method? Are you someone that says, I'm just going to go with what my gut tells me, somewhere in between?
It's definitely somewhere in between, and I think it's a depending on the day, because some days I'm like, all right, I've thought about this situation 11-7 times, and I still don't have a decision.
Yeah.
I can be pretty indecisive sometimes. But then there are days where I'm like pretty impulsive, and I'm like, yep, gut telling me to do this, going with it. I'll deal with the consequences later.
What do you think the proportion's going to be out here?
It's got to be 50-50. There has to be like a fine and delicate balance out here, because some days you have to go with your gut because you have no other information. But then other days you have a lot of information and you have to sift through what you can trust and what you can't.
What is your hottest Survivor take? What do you think is your most controversial opinion about a player, a season, the show in general?
I don't think this is a hot take, because I doubt I'm the only person that feels this way, but I don't know why people just don't know how to shut the fuck up. Like, why do you feel that when you get an advantage or an idol that you have to tell somebody? Time and time again, Survivor history has proven to us that revealing your advantages is a poor decision for gaining trust.
Yeah.
All they're gonna do is use that as a bargaining chip to gain trust with somebody else. Shut your ass up. Shut up.
Yeah, and well, you could use that to your advantage, though.
Oh,
if people are coming to you, you're like, okay, great.
Baby, tell me all the secrets. Tell me everything, because I'm going to tell the next guy. Like,
let me throw another hypothetical at you.
Okay.
You could bring a celebrity or a fictional character out as a loved one on the island. Who are you picking?
Ooh, that's a good one. Damn, you definitely threw a curveball at me. I think I would bring Hermione Granger.
Okay.
Because that's my girl. Like, I'm a really big fan of the Harry Potter series, and I feel like Hermione is somebody who would be able to give me the advice that I need to really get through this game. There's not much that girl doesn't know.
True.
So if I was out here, and by the time you get to the loved ones visit, you down bad, usually. Yeah. So if I could just have a conversation with my girl, I feel like she would get me through to the end of the game.
Now, are we talking like beginning of books, Leviosa Hermione, or are we talking like endgame?
I'm talking endgame
yeah,
Hermione.
Like fine with breaking all the rules.
Yeah,
Hermione.
endgame Hermione been through some shit. Endgame Hermione has been through some shit, and she's going to be able to tell me what I need to know to finish this fight for my life.
Oh, my God. All right, well, last question. I got to, take the opportunity with you as an artist.
Okay.
Describe to me, what picture is in your mind right now when you're thinking about your feelings towards preparing for this adventure of a lifetime?
Okay. Right now, it's a vortex. It's a vortex of colors, lights, swirls, a little bit of jagged rocks, trees.
Don't climb those rocks.
I'm not. Hell no. I was so pissed off. What was his name? Dan? Matthew. I'm sorry. I was so pissed off when Matthew climbed that rock and fell off. Like, my boy, you are putting your body in danger for shits and giggles. Like, come on, my guy. But yeah, no. So it's definitely it's like a swirling vortex. You don't really know what's on the other side, but it's so beautiful. You got to jump in and see what's going down.
Amazing. Well, I'm excited to jump in and see what's going down with you.
Me too.
This is so much fun. This was such a great talk with you. You are such a fantastic personality. I think you have such a great head for things and such a sense of creativity that, like, I'm really pumped to see the canvas you're going to paint on over the course of this game.
I like that. You can
use it. You can use it if you want to.
You know what? Let me write that down.
Yeah, exactly.
In my Survivor handbook.
We are good to go. You're all set.
Thank you so much.
nice meeting you.
It was really nice meeting you.
Enjoy the rest.